We are going live. This is Shane with Mountain Crypto. Just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. $4 million Bitcoin. Does that sound possible? It certainly could be. Certainly could be possible. I was trying to find a way to share the screen, but I guess you can't do that anymore. You used to be able to do that, but I suppose they found a way to make some money doing it this way, selling products. Anyway, Bitcoin. Yeah, we're back up to 44,000 actually right now. $44,036 and changing. If you go to CoinMarketCap and you open it up, you're going to see the market cap, which is pretty close to $1 trillion. It's about $900 billion. And the volume, that's way up today. Wow. When I did these figures, I did them with 20 million volume. So the way they come up with the coin price is you take the total amount of money that's calculated, the market cap, and then you take the last 24-hour volume that coins are traded, bought and sold, and you divide that. And that'll give you the exact coin price. So I did some calculations on 20 million. Right now it's 26 million volume. That's a lot of volume. So, and the price is still maintaining the high price. So, yeah, I'll have to play with some more numbers because I was really thinking in my head last night, which I had to do everything 3 times because my brain was so tired. I had to do everything 3 times to be able to come up with the numbers. But I'm going to give you some scenarios about Bitcoin, and the possibility will build up to the possibility of it going to almost $4 million. Actually, the number I came up with was $3,750,000. All right. So if you've never heard me before, I've been in Bitcoin for a long time. I'm not a multi-millionaire, but I've done pretty good with Bitcoin. I'm just an average guy. I've done pretty good with cryptocurrency. I've had some fun mining, staking, made some mistakes in the early days. And in 2017, I decided that people needed to be safer. And I thought, I could fill a niche where everybody's the new, young, hip, cool cyberpunks. And I definitely was older than that group of folks. And I thought, I can do this without dropping a bunch of F-bombs, and something that people could listen to in their car on the way home, and just kind of like talking to your buddy at work or something, with hopefully some experience and stuff like that. So the live stream's on if you want to chat. And I see there's a couple people on there. If you want to chat, you got a question, I'll do the best I can or try to lead you to a good answer or some good information so you can make a good decision. No investment advice here. A lot of the links I have down there are no good anymore, but you can find me here on YouTube, and I'll never send you anything in the mail or anything like that, so don't get sucked into that game. But back to what I was saying, I went around a circuit teaching people. I had a PowerPoint presentation. I'd go out there in my cowboy hat and talk to people about being safe on Bitcoin and why Bitcoin is going to change the world. And so that's a whole nother topic. But let's get into Bitcoin and why it's valued the way it's valued. Again, you go to CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko or any of these services where they'll show you the whole market capitalization, all the money they estimate that's in the market. And then they'll show you the circulating coins, which is the volume in the last 24 hours. All the different exchanges are looking at that volume, and that's how they come up with the price. And then if you ever look at a trading site where you see the green candles and the red candles, people are actually competing on price. And if it's a seller's market, then the price is going up. There's more green candles. If it's a buyer's market, then the candles are going red and it's dropping the price down. So that's how it kind of works. You can watch it in real time on any exchange. If you're a beginner, Coinbase is expensive, but I would recommend if you're in the US, go with Coinbase and start off there. Okay. And you can go to, if you got the phone app, you click the tab up in the top left-hand corner. It's got a bunch of dots on it, I think, or lines. I don't know. You click that, and then it'll open up a window, and you'll see Coinbase Advanced, I think it's called. And actually, let me look at it real quick here so I can tell you proper. It's just all automatic for me anymore. They change it, and then I notice it. But other than that, I don't really notice it. So what do they call it? Advanced Trade. You click Advanced Trade, and you'll be able to buy Bitcoin at a little bit lower price. So that's good. Once your bank account is linked and all that, you're good. And you can start buying Bitcoin. And if you trade in altcoins, you can risk it on that. I call that gambling. One step above. All right. So now we know how the price is for Bitcoin right now. So obviously more people want it. They start driving up the price. The halvening comes. There's half as much Bitcoin being sold. It's all going to drive up the price. But you hear about the ETFs. Why is that going to make the market go up? Well, $1 trillion of investor money, ETF money. They feel that will add to the market capitalization $2 trillion, up to that, from $1 to $2 trillion. So let's see. Did I have any information on that? Here we go. Bitcoin ETF will push the new market. Shoot, I had a tab open here, but it closed. You can look that up. Bitcoin ETF will push the ETF to new market cap. And there's several different articles in here. I thought I read one on Forbes. Here we go. This is just one company here. Here it is. Spot Bitcoin ETF approval could add 1 trillion to crypto market. That's CoinDesk. Looks like it was written on October the 18th, 2023. Several articles here that talk about that. And the estimates have been as high as $2 trillion. All right. So $2 trillion just for the US, and you divide that by 20 million circulating volume, you end up with $100,000 Bitcoin. So now you know where everybody's coming up with that $100,000 Bitcoin number. That's how they do it. Now, what about global adoption? So China right now is poised to beat the US to an ETF. Okay. The ETF for a global adoption will mean and this is another article that I read, 900% increase. So that cranks it up to $18 trillion. And, if you put in another 2 trillion, just round it off to 20 trillion, that's what drives you up to the $1 million Bitcoin. So you've probably heard of Michael Saylor. He's the CEO of MicroStrategies. We're going to talk about him in a minute, but he's talked about $1 million Bitcoin for a long time. McAfee, who's passed away, he was big in cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. He was a pretty strong voice. that was listened to by mainstream and everyone alike, and he spoke about $1 million Bitcoin. That's how it happens. The global adoption. So global adoption, what that means is as an ETF, okay? Only as an ETF. Now, what about nation state adoption? Okay, you've heard of Qatar, starts with a Q. They are saying, and we are finding out this may be more and more true, that they are going to put up to $1 trillion into Bitcoin. Is this possible? Well, a little research will show you that the global stock market, okay, the global stock market, if you go to global or gobankingrates.com, you can look up a site that talks about the global stock market. And according to this here, there is up to $109 trillion in businesses. In fact, in 2020, it says 1,540 trillion dollars in the global market. So obviously there's probably more than that in there now. So there's a lot of money in the world market. So this is all the money of the value that we have in the world. Okay. Now, if you take 1% of that and add it to the ETF and the existing adoption that we have right now and the global adoption of ETFs, such as China and other countries, just 1% of that is going to put us at a 1,050,000 Bitcoin. 5% would be 5 times that. So that's huge. Okay. Now, if you take all the world's total wealth, and if you just put 1% of that, I read estimates that was, I forget how many trillion dollars. Well, 1% would be 15 trillion, and that would bring Bitcoin to 750,000. Now, 5% would bring us to almost a $4 million Bitcoin, $3,750,000. So you can just see there's so many scenarios. This doesn't even take into account the mad rush that the retail buyers are going to push. It doesn't put into account a whole nother scenario. So I thought I was going to be the first one to talk about this. I've never heard anybody really talk about it until yesterday. And I'm sure somebody has, but something occurred to me, and I've been thinking about it for a long time, but it occurred to me that a lot of people aren't really talking about another scenario that's going to bring a lot of people to want to hold Bitcoin. And I talked about Michael Saylor in the beginning. He's invested millions upon millions. I think he's probably up to billions now in his company, MicroStrategies. Now, when you go to his website and you find out what MicroStrategies is, did I leave the site open? I don't see it here. Oh, AI-powered business. Here it is, microstrategies.com. He has many products that are for businesses. They use AI, their data. He has customers such as Hilton, Sony, Amica. And it says that on their site, MicroStrategies has the best BI and analysis platform. People compare this to other great programs such as Microsoft and others for business intelligence. Architect, large retailer in Australia is who wrote that. Also, solid BI visualization tool for insight and analysis for enterprise reporting. So these are all products to track your business and hone your business in. They have a system that helps simplify workflows for complicated tasks. They have a strategy on the cloud to help people upscale for their vision. Says allows you to select between multiple hyperlayers, including Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud. The best fit your product strategy. Leverage in the latest microservices and cloud containers for continuous iterations, fast development, higher fault tolerance, and lower cost. And our cloud is fully managed by a team of experts 24/7. All right. APIs, set of rich SDKs enable developers to do more, connect with a diverse set of data sources, systems such as Snowflake or Databricks, and blend data sources together and embed custom functionalities to adapt to an evolved data landscape. So here you go. Now, what's so great about MicroStrategies? Well, when you think of them, you probably think, oh, that's the guy that has all the Bitcoin. Well, what he's done is he's used Bitcoin. He's invested in Bitcoin. He's borrowed against his company, and he gets to count all the profits because that company's value is based on all its holdings. If it owns property, if it owns some rentals in a building, there's all sorts of little tentacles that are in a business that create another opportunity. So MicroStrategies has actually been able, and I don't know if this is every year, but it has been able to have as big gains as Bitcoin in some cases because the company's earning money and then they're compounding on the Bitcoin. So a lot of companies are going to want their books to look good. And I see this as the future that nobody's really talking about. But Michael Saylor did talk about it yesterday. He said companies are going to want to put this on their ledgers and on their books. I think it's something nobody's really thinking about. Some companies already are, of course, like investing companies and things like that. But what I'm talking about, every company in the S&P, every company on the global markets, stock trading markets, and again, there's 109 trillion global stock market businesses. That's what that number is. 109 trillion global stock market businesses. That's a lot. So, or the money that's in the global market, 109 trillion. So even if they get a percentage of that, that alone will give $1 million Bitcoin or bigger. Okay. If the percentages go up, because it's another million, another million, another million. So even like I said, just 1% or 5% of this, it could bring Bitcoin up to millions. And that's why sometimes you'll even hear people talk about $10 million Bitcoin or a $1 billion Bitcoin. So yeah, this is all in the cards right now. We could see this happening. When you add all these up, you're looking at potentially $1 million of Bitcoin when you add all of those monies and everything. Now, is that going to happen real quick or right away? No, it's not going to happen. Even the $100,000 Bitcoin or the $1 million Bitcoin scenario, I believe Bitcoin is definitely going to make 100,000, but the $1 million scenario, it's going to take these companies time to put into Bitcoin. There's only so much Bitcoin. They're going to want to buy it at certain times. They don't buy all at once. They're going to want to buy it strategically so that it doesn't look like a big, huge loss. Nobody wants to buy during the down market when it's all dropping, right? So we saw some potential market manipulation last weekend when the price dropped down like 40,000. I think that was the lowest it went. It was about 40,000. It's already recuperated. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. Really some big potentials for Bitcoin. We could definitely hit millions of dollars per Bitcoin, or even billions if you add everything up all together down the line. That's something that could happen. But it would take probably years and years. So anyway, I can't think of anything else to talk to you about. Pretty tired, been busy working. But I just wanted to share that. Let's see if anybody left a message or anything. No, usually people leave a message right after I close the stream. So thought I would share that with you. Have a good time. Until next time, happy holidays, Merry Christmas.